His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa received at Safriya Palace yesterday the Saudi Minister of State and Council of Ministers member, His Royal Highness Prince Turki bin Mohammed bin Fahd bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud, who is currently visiting Bahrain. His Royal Highness conveyed to His Majesty the greetings and appreciation of the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud, and the Saudi Crown Prince and Prime Minister, His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud, along with their best wishes to Bahrain and its people for continued prosperity and progress. His Majesty the King welcomed His Royal Highness and requested that he conveys his greetings to the Saudi monarch and to Crown Prince and Prime Minister, and his sincere wishes for the custodian's continued health and for further progress and advancement of the Saudi people. His Majesty expressed pride in the deep-rooted historical relations and strong fraternal ties between the two kingdoms, noting the steady progress of joint cooperation and constructive coordination across various domains for the benefit of both peoples. His Majesty commended the efforts of the Saudi monarch in further enhancing Bahraini-Saudi ties and praised Saudi Arabia's leading role in supporting Gulf cooperation as well as promoting regional security, stability and peace. His Majesty also noted the efforts of His Royal Highness in further enhancing fraternal relations between the two kingdoms. The meeting also discussed a number of topics of mutual interest. His Royal Highness Prince Turki bin Mohammed expressed gratitude and appreciation to His Majesty the King for the warm welcome and generous hospitality, affirming his pride in His Majesty's efforts to further boost the deep-rooted fraternal and historical bonds between the two countries and their peoples. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa chaired the weekly cabinet meeting at Gdaybiya Palace. The cabinet welcomed Bahrain's hosting of the 3rd Asian Youth Games held under the patronage of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa. The cabinet commended the role of the representative of His Majesty the King for Humanitarian Work and Youth Affairs, Chairman of the Supreme Council for Youth and Sports, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, in strengthening the kingdom's youth and sports sector. The cabinet also noted the support of the first Deputy Chairman of the Supreme Council for Youth and Sports, Chairman of the General Sports Authority and President of the Bahrain Olympic Committee, His Highness Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Al Khalifa, in ensuring the success of this major event. The cabinet wished the participating teams and athletes success in the competitions. The cabinet commended the cooperation between the government, the Council of Representatives and the Shura Council and recognized the achievements as a result of that engagement. The cabinet also expressed its gratitude to the Legislative Authority for its cooperation on the press, printing and publishing law, which plays an important role in enhancing the role of the kingdom's media and press. His Royal Highness directed a reduction in the maximum monthly installments for beneficiaries of the Mazaya program by increasing government financial support. His Royal Highness also instructed the Ministry of Housing and Urban Planning to diversify housing options to better meet citizens' needs and aspirations. The cabinet expressed its gratitude to the private sector for its continued support in advancing housing services and projects. The cabinet reviewed the progress of implementing His Royal Highness's directives to the Ministry of Labour to provide 3 job opportunities for every registered Bahraini job seeker before the end of this year. This aligns with the aim of His Majesty the King to facilitate opportunities for citizens. The cabinet expressed its appreciation to the Ministry of Labour for its efforts in conducting more than 15,000 interviews with candidates and in offering 3 job opportunities to over 2,000 citizens who are registered and seeking employment. The cabinet also commended the ministry for successfully employing 1,000 registered job seekers. In this regard, His Royal Highness directed the continuation of these efforts to offer job opportunities to job seekers registered with the ministry. The cabinet then discussed several memorandums during the meeting and approved the following. A memorandum submitted by the Ministerial Committee for Financial and Economic Affairs and Fiscal Balance on developments in the social housing sector, in line with the framework for implementing the directives of His Majesty the King to accelerate the disbursement of 50,000 housing units and enhance public services for the benefit of Bahraini families. A memorandum submitted by the Ministerial Committee for Financial and Economic Affairs and Fiscal Balance on Bahrain's contributions to regional and international organizations. A memorandum submitted by the Ministerial Committee for Legal and Legislative Affairs regarding the National Committee for the Care of Persons with Determination. A memorandum submitted by the Ministerial Committee for Legal and Legislative Affairs regarding a draft resolution issuing the executive regulation for the law regulating and controlling international trade in endangered species of animals and fungal plants. A memorandum submitted by the Ministerial Committee for Legal and Legislative Affairs regarding a draft resolution aimed at enhancing the scope and efficiency of municipal licensing regulations. A memorandum submitted by the Ministerial Committee for Legal and Legislative Affairs regarding the government's response to a draft law submitted by the Council of Representatives. The Cabinet also reviewed the following ministerial reports: outcomes of the Kingdom's participation in the annual meeting of the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank Group; outcomes of the 5th session of the Islamic Conference of Ministers responsible for water of the member states of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation; outcomes of the Kingdom's participation in the 90th Executive Bureau meeting of the Council of Arab Ministers of Housing and Construction; foreign engagements of the ministers and visits of ministers from allied countries to Bahrain during November 2025. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa met with the Minister of State and member of the Council of Ministers of Saudi Arabia, His Royal Highness Prince Turki bin Mohammed bin Fahd bin Abdulaziz Al Saud at Ghdaybiya Palace. His Royal Highness highlighted the depth of relations between Bahrain and Saudi Arabia, which under the leadership of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa and the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, continue to be strengthened. His Royal Highness emphasized that the historic relationship between the two kingdoms represent distinguished model of cooperation and coordination that continues to benefit both nations and their peoples. His Royal Highness commended the role and efforts of His Royal Highness the Saudi Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud in advancing bilateral relations aligned shared aspirations. His Royal Highness also expressed appreciation to the Crown Prince for his pivotal role in deepening the historic ties between the kingdoms, underscoring that such efforts continue to yield benefits for both nations and their peoples. His Royal Highness Prince Turki bin Mohammed conveyed the greetings of the custodian of the two holy mosques and His Royal Highness the Saudi Crown Prince and Prime Minister to His Royal Highness, extending their wishes for continued progress and prosperity to Bahrain and its people. Similarly, His Royal Highness conveyed his greetings to the custodian of the two holy mosques and to His Royal Highness the Saudi Crown Prince and Prime Minister, wishing Saudi Arabia and its people continued progress and prosperity. Both parties discussed the latest regional and international developments as well as issues of common interest. His Royal Highness commended Saudi Arabia's steadfast role in supporting GCC efforts and enhancing regional security, stability, and prosperity. His Royal Highness also expressed appreciation for the efforts of His Royal Highness Prince Turki bin Mohammed in reinforcing the strong ties between the two kingdoms. His Royal Highness Prince Turki bin Mohammed expressed gratitude for His Royal Highness's commitment to strengthening bilateral relations between the two kingdoms and wished Bahrain and its people continued growth and prosperity. The Minister of the Prime Minister's Court, His Highness Sheikh Isa bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, Deputy Prime Minister Sheikh Khalid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa, the Minister of Finance and National Economy Sheikh Salman bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, and several senior officials also attended the meeting. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa met with the Speaker of the Council of Representatives, Ahmed bin Salman Al Msallam, the Chairman of the Shura Council, Ali bin Saleh Al Saleh, along with their deputies, several members of both councils, and Chairman of the Bahrain Chamber of Commerce and Industry, BCCI, Samir Abdullah Nas, at Gdaybiya Palace. His Royal Highness highlighted the continued efforts of Team Bahrain in advancing the kingdom's comprehensive development, led by His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa. His Royal Highness affirmed that Team Bahrain's achievements across various sectors reflect the strength of national commitment and shared ambition, driven by close cooperation between the executive and legislative authorities and reinforced through effective partnerships with the private sector. His Royal Highness commended the efforts of the members of the legislative authority and their dedication to further enhancing the legislative system, emphasizing the importance of continued collaboration to achieve the kingdom's national goals that serve the interests of Bahraini citizens. His Royal Highness underscored the pivotal role of the private sector as a key partner in advancing the kingdom's comprehensive development. His Royal Highness highlighted the ongoing efforts to diversify housing services and create quality opportunities for citizens through the continued cooperation between the kingdom's executive and legislative authorities. His Royal Highness expressed his appreciation to the private sector for its role in supporting national initiatives, particularly in providing employment opportunities, in line with the directives issued to the Ministry of Labour to offer 3 job opportunities for every registered Bahraini job seeker. His Royal Highness thanked the BCCI for its efforts to realize this critical goal for the kingdom. His Royal Highness also noted that the kingdom is home to a rich and dedicated talent pool, where the commitment to innovation, excellence, and leadership continues to drive progress across all fields. His Royal Highness expressed his pride in the dedication of Team Bahrain, whose ongoing efforts continue to strengthen the kingdom's prosperity and progress. For their part, Al Msallam and Al Saleh expressed their gratitude for His Royal Highness's continued support in enhancing cooperation between the executive and legislative authorities and the private sector. Deputy Prime Minister Sheikh Khalid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa, the Minister of Interior General Sheikh Rashid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa, and several senior officials also attended the meeting. The first Deputy Chairman of the Supreme Council for Youth and Sports SCYS, Chairman of the General Sports Authority and President of the Bahrain Olympic Committee, His Highness Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Al Khalifa, yesterday attended a number of competitions at Exhibition World Bahrain. His Highness watched part of the weightlifting competitions and crowned the championships in the men's 56 kg competition. His Highness also watched the handball, taekwondo in esports, and Muay Thai matches, all of which saw wide participation from various Asian countries amid a competitive atmosphere. His Highness commended the major achievements of the Games, noting that the kingdom continues to solidify its position as a capable destination for hosting major continental and international sports events. His Highness added that what has been achieved so far is the result of the support of His Majesty the King and the close follow-up of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister. He also commended the efforts of the representative of His Majesty the King for Humanitarian Work and Youth Affairs and Chairman of the SCYS, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, and his support for the sports movement, which contributed to the continued achievements of successes both locally and continentally. His Highness praised the professional work of the committees and volunteers, calling it a reflection of the nation's skilled workforce. His Highness praised the high-level skills and abilities of the athletes and participating teams, noting that the Games are a crucial stage for finding and developing talented young people who will become future champions in Olympic sports. Interior Minister General Sheikh Rashid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa inaugurated the 3rd joint exercise of International Security Alliance hosted by the Interior Ministry. This is the first field exercise organized by the alliance with the participation of 9 countries: Bahrain, UAE, France, Italy, Spain, Slovakia, Senegal, Singapore and Morocco, as well as representatives from law enforcement authorities, specialized tactical and technical teams, rapid intervention units, aviation, communications and media personnel. The Interior Minister was briefed on the progress of the exercise in coordination and interaction among the participants and performing the tasks and duties, as well as the stages of implementing and field performance. He also said that the joint exercise reflects the high level of readiness and efficiency in dealing with all security circumstances and developments. The minister then witnessed part of the exercises which were proceeding as planned. The minister praised the clear interaction among the participants, the scenarios included in the exercise, and their ability to handle incidents professionally. The minister expressed appreciation to the UAE Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Interior, His Highness Sheikh Saif bin Zayed Al Nahyan, for his pioneering security initiative in forming the alliance and supporting its General Secretariat, which is headquartered in Abu Dhabi. He commended the UAE's regional role and its commitment to strengthening the foundations of regional security and stability. He noted the capabilities of the alliance and its potential for security and coordination in cooperation with international partners. The minister pointed out that the exchange of expertise and the unification of international efforts achieve exceptional security achievements in the fight against crime, adding that the alliance succeeded in uncovering many transitional cases and arresting those involved. He emphasized the importance of a comprehensive preparation and benefiting from exercises that embody close cooperation and joint international work among alliance members to enhance community security and combat transitional organized crime. General Sheikh Rashid added that this also reflects the alliance's advanced security role and its keenness to build strategic partnerships that support regional and international stability. The minister explained that global security challenges require reviewing joint capabilities within an advanced framework of cooperation and shared purpose, which calls for continued exercise to boost readiness, unify concepts to face all threats, and exchange experiences and information enhancing security and stability. He wished them success in achieving the exercise vision and objectives. The Minister of Works, Engineer Ibrahim Al-Hawaj, announced the start of the main works for the road development project leading to Bahrain International Airport, Phase 3A, which is one of the strategic projects included in the government program. This comes with the aim of improving the road network and raising its efficiency, ensuring the smooth flow of traffic. He explained that the project will enhance the efficiency of infrastructure in Muharraq Governorate by alleviating traffic congestion on Arad and Khalifa Al-Kabir highways, keeping pace with population growth, urban expansion, and citizens' aspirations. He stated that Phase 3A of the project located at Al-Saqr interchange includes the implementation of integrated development works that include the rehabilitation of the intersection and parts of Arad and Khalifa Al-Kabir highway within the scope of the project. He added that the works include constructing a new bridge for a free left turn along Khalifa Al-Kabir highway at its intersection with Arad highway, in addition to developing the existing water crossing on Arad Street. Afforestation and beautification projects will also be implemented in addition to establishing a modern rainwater drainage network. The Judicial and Legal Studies Institute, in cooperation with the Bahrain Institute of Banking and Finance (BIBF), launched a specialized training program for data managers and data protection officers. The initiative supports Bahrain's digital transformation strategy and its efforts to enhance data protection, institutional compliance, and digital security. The Minister of Justice and Islamic Affairs and Waqf and acting chairman of the Personal Data Protection Authority Board of Directors, Nawaf Al-Muawda, said the program reflects Bahrain's progress in digital transformation and reinforces personal data protection as a key component of this advancement. He noted that building qualified national professionals enhances trust in the digital economy and boosts Bahrain's legislative readiness for future challenges. BIBF CEO Dr. Ahmed Al-Sheikh highlighted that the program combines legal and practical training to help participants develop internal policies, assess risks, and ensure compliance with data protection standards. The director of the Judicial and Legal Studies Institute, Dr. Riyadh CID, said that the initiative supports the development of legal competencies in emerging fields such as data protection and digital governance. The unanimous approval of the amendments to the Press, Printing and Publication Law during the Shura Council session represents a historic shift in the course of Bahraini journalism. The amendments include key points that achieve a balance between freedom of expression and professional responsibility and builds a more developed and open media environment in line with the Kingdom's comprehensive development. More in this report.
Within the framework of strengthening the position of the national media in all its forms and continuing to build on the qualitative legislative achievements that meet the aspirations of the press, the Shura Council unanimously approved amendments to the Press, Printing and Publication Law during its third session of the fourth session of the sixth legislative term. This step represents one of the fundamental pillars of the national project. This achievement embodies the keenness to consolidate responsible freedom and conscious speech to enhance the role of the national media in supporting the comprehensive development process at various levels. The amendments include the abolition of prison sentences in publishing cases and their replacement with fines, the regulation of electronic media as one of the main components of the national media system, and strengthening legal and professional guarantees for journalists and media professionals, thereby achieving a balance between freedom of expression and professional responsibility and supporting a more developed and open media environment. With the approval of these amendments, the media and journalism sectors will perform their duties with greater efficiency as part of a renewed path to develop the media system in the Kingdom of Bahrain and keep pace with the rapid changes in the regional and international scenes.
The Shura Council's approval of amendments to the Press, Printing and Publication Law is a major milestone in modernizing media legislation in Bahrain. The amendments were approved in response to developments in the media sector at the local and international levels and establish a legislative framework that balances freedom of opinion and expression with the requirements of responsible and professional media practices. The new Press and Media Law completed the legislative process and is ready to be submitted to His Majesty the King for approval. The third Asian Youth Games continue with a series of diverse events and fierce competitions that reflect the momentum and outstanding organization of the Games. Camel racing will also make its debut in the Games history, featuring 500-meter youth and junior races at Bahrain International Endurance Village, highlighting the inclusion of traditional sports in a move that affirms the Games' keenness to integrate heritage sports into the continental agenda and highlight the Gulf heritage to the world. Bahraini teams continue to participate in various games with high ambitions to achieve positive results and continue to win medals, while the Games Executive Committee continues its outstanding organizational efforts. McLaren, owned by Mumtalakat Holding Company, the sovereign wealth fund of Bahrain, continues its standout Formula One season with a commanding win at Mexico City Grand Prix at Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. Lando Norris delivered a dominant performance to take the checkered flag ahead of Ferrari's Charles Leclerc. With the win, McLaren remains on top of the Drivers' Championship. Norris leads the standing on 357 points to confirm the team's control over the course of the season. McLaren had already sealed the 2025 Constructors' Championship for the second consecutive year at the Singapore Grand Prix at Marina Bay Street Circuit, clinching the title with 6 rounds still to go. This latest success underscores McLaren's standing as one of Bahrain's leading global sports investments and demonstrates Mumtalakat's continued support in elevating Bahrain's presence on the international sporting stage. McLaren continues its standout Formula One season with a commanding win at Mexico City Grand Prix at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. Following the team's victory, Bahrain stands as a leading example of investments in sports, not only through the hosting of major international championships, but also through the strategic partnerships with leading brands in the sports industry. More in this report.
The Kingdom of Bahrain is a unique example of how sports can be used as an integrated investment sector as part of its ambitious economic vision to diversify sources of income and strengthen its position as a regional and global hub for sporting events and technological innovation. The Kingdom has gone beyond the traditional hosting of championships to adopt an integrated economic system based on sports investment through strategic partnerships with major global brands, foremost of which is the McLaren Formula One team, which reflects the convergence of Bahraini competence with global industrial and engineering excellence. Since the launch of the Bahrain Grand Prix, the Kingdom has demonstrated its organizational and logistical capabilities to host one of the world's most important sporting events, transforming itself into a global platform that combines sports economy and sustainable tourism, highlighting its advanced infrastructure and its position in the knowledge-based and innovation-driven economy. The Kingdom of Bahrain's investment in McLaren Group is not just a sporting partnership, but a strategic choice stemming from a long-term vision that sees sports as a catalyst for economic growth, a bridge for technology localization, and a means of building national capabilities in the fields of engineering and research development. The Kingdom has recognized that sport in its modern sense has become an economic and self-diplomatic tool that enhances cultural influence, expands international cooperation, and creates an attractive investment environment in line with sustainable development aspirations. McLaren today is not just a brand of the world of speed, but a symbol of an economic partnership based on innovation and aspiration, in which the Kingdom of Bahrain is a key partner linking the national vision for the future with global leadership in the sports industry and the modern economy.